These particular beans are always served with tacos and other Mexican dishes. What are they? Pork and beans, green beans, black-eyed beans, or refried beans? Pork and beans, green beans, black-eyed beans, refried beans. You guessed it right, Pert. Refried beans are the kind that are served with tacos and other Mexican dishes. Makes more sense because it makes them taste good. And there's all sorts of different brands. Rosarita is one of my favorite kind. Now here on the board are two different dishes. Your best winning will be a Trips Incorporated trip to Oahu in Hawaii, getting to see the wonderful city of Honolulu and the Baha'i National Office in Hawaii. They'll take you to a seaside dinner with a dish of poi. The two foods are Brunswick stew and green cheese soup. Here are the dials that'll display the foods. It's time for you to guess. Brunswick stew left, green cheese soup right. Great job, Pert. The dial on the left showed Brunswick stew, and the dial on the right showed green cheese soup. Now, here, Pert, is a set of different dinner dishes on the left and the different occasions on the right. Match them correctly, and you'll win employment as a designer for educational trivia DVDs at the U.S. Department of Education. Great job. A lot of kids usually like cake, and that's why it matches there. By the time they get to their teen years, their discretion usually gets to a point where cake is too much, so they just switch to pie instead. Adult birthday parties usually consist of dessert pizza, because usually when you get to about that age, sometimes you get tired of the sweets. Everybody should go easy on the sweets and kind of just not accept offers if there gets to be too many. A lot of junior and senior citizens, because of medical reasons, use sugar-free treats. Yeah, they serve Easter dinners usually can serve a lot of different meats. Yeah, because a lot of people really like those on the Easter day. And usually Mexican food is great for summer solstice because on summer solstice we get to, we get a lot of great great Mexican foods from the country, especially at Rio Grande Cafe in Salt Lake City, Utah. Pizza always makes a wonderful 4th of July treat, but you never know. Some barbecues can happen, and that's fine. Most people like turkey and stuffing on Thanksgiving. It's one of their favorites. Traditional meat and potatoes is what a lot of people like for old style Christmas. Some families just don't care for it anymore. The 21st century Christmas, a lot of people like Thai food, especially families that just can't handle traditional dinners as the way they should be able to. And usually, because the Baha'i religion did originate from some of the Persian countries, a lot of people on some wonderful events like to have Persian dishes around that time. Navajo tacos makes a wonderful uh, dish at Native American parties. You can put almost anything on them and they taste great. They even have dessert things you can put them on and that tastes wonderful. The fried bread is the best of all. Usually for a graduation luncheon or banquet, a lot of people like dishes related to pasta because that's what makes it a wonderful time. There's other times too. A lot of people like chocolate at concerts. In this picture part, you fit the food with what group it falls under and where its nutrition facts are. Guess them all right, and you will get to be a new game designer employee at the U.S. Department of Education. Doot, 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 doot. Great job. You guessed it quite right. Pretty much all these fall within the food pyramid. Fats, oils, and sweets is what soda pop really is. It's not very fattening. It's got quite a bit of sweets, but it's practically an oil. It's something you should use sparingly. That means not nearly enough, just sometimes. Steak does happen to be a meat. It's usually from steer stuff. Can be hard to eat if it's not cooked right. Cheese is a dairy product, especially the kind where you make especially the Dutch people in Holland who make it. They make it pretty good. The bell peppers are a vegetable, but they're usually used to put on pizzas rather than eaten alone. Sometimes chili rellenos is what they could be. Just got to make sure you call it by that correct name. Honeydew is a fruit. It's a kind of a melon that's white, basically. Crackers falls under bread and grain. And that's one thing you should try to get the most of so that, you don't end up getting too hungry all the time. And here part is the color that food usually is, as you've seen and eaten it before. You've just about earned your designer employment at the U.S. Department of Education. So far, so good. A lot of pumpernickel bread is usually brown. It's that brown kind. It tastes pretty good. Usually, people put a lot of sauces on it to make it into an interesting dish to eat. That's what makes it great. Other breads are usually white, and they're a little gray if they're full wheat. Celery and pears are usually a very light green or yellowish green color. Swiss chard is always green. Squash is known to be yellow. Sometimes it comes out orange. Blueberries are usually blue, but usually their makings are often violet blue, indigo, or blue violet, or maybe even purple. Eggplants are known to be black, the way they're grown. Carrots are known to be orange. Traditional grapes are purple. Traditional apples are red. Strawberries are usually red, but there's some that are pink. Tillamook cheese is usually orange. Hot dogs are usually pink or red. Chocolate is traditionally brown, but there's white chocolate too. Vanilla treats are usually white. Butterscotch treats are usually light brown or tan. In here part, you toss the dice to help fill in the foods that belong in the sequence. If you get them all in on 10 tosses, you will win your designer of educational trivia DVDs at the U.S. Department of Education. Here's a hint. If the food happens to come up on the die, we'll tell you if and how many times it'll appear on the board. Great job, Pert. Looks like all the foods came up just like you predicted. Good job. I think you did it. Now, here's our wheel, the food finding one. And then what you do is you spin the wheel, and whatever comes up, you can you guess where it is, and then you'll get it right. Give it a ride. It looks like you just landed on Bologna, or Bologna, which it's pronounced. It seems kind of like a neat meat. Well, actually, I usually have it in my sandwiches, and it tastes really excellent. It tastes so good. Never thought of it. You got it. And now, Pert, here's your final round. In these two pictures are some dishes served at special occasions. You and Gail must guess them right in order to win. Du- 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 du. Here are your prizes. Educational Trivia Game Designer Employee at the U.S. Department of Education. Department of Online College Classes of Using Educational Trivia Games. Master Employee.